Hello and welcome to the second annual USA Triathlon Leadership Virtual Town Hall. I'm Victoria Brumfield, Chief of Staff and Chief Business Development Officer at USA Triathlon. Our first town hall in June 2020 was focused primarily on the COVID-19 pandemic and how we were working with the industry professionals and multi-sport community to help get the sport back to racing. And while we still touch on the sport's return to racing this year, we are so thankful to be focusing on other areas of our organization and sport, including the upcoming Olympic and Paralympic Games in Tokyo, technology upgrades to our membership system, tools and resources for athletes, the continued growth of NCAA Triathlon, our Together We Thrive campaign and diversity, equity, inclusion, and access efforts, as well as a renewed commitment on customer service and the foundation's impact on our organization. But first, let's introduce the rest of the USA Triathlon team. Our Chief Executive Officer, Rocky Harris. Our Chief Sport Development Officer, Tim Yount. Tim is celebrating his 30-year anniversary with USA Triathlon this year. He oversees membership, service, education, and sport-related programming. Nellie Viner, our Senior Legal Counsel, oversees HR, risk and compliance. Our High Performance General Manager, John Farra. He's responsible for our U.S. national team programs, including Olympic and Paralympic athletes, and our development pipelines. Katie Willemarck, our financial controller, heads finance and technology for the organization. And Dave Deschenes, the executive director of USA Triathlon Foundation, our charitable arm that supports our youth programming, adaptive athletes, and Olympic athletes and hopefuls. Rocky is going to kick us off with the state of the sport.
Thanks, Vic. And let me start with how happy I am to be here talking about all the things I love about our sport. The importance of our community and clubs, local grassroots racing, our coaches, and of course, our athletes. I said this during our last town hall and at the start of every year, and it still rings true today, halfway through 2021. Our sport is getting stronger every day, and our brightest years and months are ahead of us. We all went through a long year, and it wasn't easy, but we've emerged closer as a community and stronger than we were before the pandemic. To help our community continue to thrive, we have to support each other. So I'd encourage you to join a USA Triathlon certified club to have a built-in community of like-minded people. Hire one of our certified coaches to help you optimize your lifestyle and performance, and most importantly, support your local sanctioned races. Grassroots racing and the hardworking race directors who put them on are the backbone of our sport. Regardless of your experience, it is important that all of us get out there and support the local multi-sport community. You can find over 1,000 clubs, 2,000 coaches for all talent levels, and 4,000 local races on our website. If our clubs, coaches, and race directors are being supported by our members, then the entire sport thrives and grows. This is the time to introduce our sport to friends, family members, neighbors, and coworkers. People across the country have taken up running and biking at record rates. So I ask all of you to welcome them to our community with open arms. And lastly, the Olympic and Paralympic Games provides us with a global platform to showcase all of our sports virtues. While our athletes can do their part in competition, we need everyone in our multi-sport community to wear red, white, and blue this summer and support our athletes as they proudly represent America on the largest stage in sports. If I have come away with one lesson from the past year, it is that together we can rise above anything thrown our way. Our sport will be stronger tomorrow than it is today, and our brightest years are ahead of us. With that, I'll pass it over to our high performance general manager, John Farra, to give a quick rundown of our Olympic and Paralympic teams.
Thanks, Rocky. It's an exciting time for all of us, and I am thrilled that 22 USA triathletes are going to be on their way to Tokyo to represent their country and the entire USA Triathlon community as Paralympians and Olympians. And as you know, this Games will be like none other. No fans, no family, daily COVID testing, and a highly restrictive bubble life for the athletes and staff. But in the end, the only thing that really matters is that these incredible athletes, our athletes, get the chance to finally compete in Tokyo. The drama is going to be high for all 5 days of our triathlon events, including the incredibly dynamic and first ever Olympic mixed relay event with 18 nations battling it out. 2 Olympic distance race days for our Olympians, 2 sprint distance race days for our Paralympians, And we have medal contenders to cheer for on every single day of the 5 triathlon race days. And that is a testament to the depth, the quality of our athletes, and our USA Triathlon clubs, programs, and community. And for those of you who asked how to support the team and the athletes, of course, you've got to watch our Olympians in action at the end of this month, July 25th, 26th, and 30th in the US, and then rest up for a few weeks, come back to watch our Paralympians on August 27 and 28 in the US. We have some of the best athletes on the planet to support, and it's going to be awesome to see them get their shot in Tokyo. Tune into our pre and post-race commentary on USA Triathlon's Facebook page. Host watch parties in your communities. Send a good luck message that we can share with the athletes in Tokyo. And go ahead, brag about our Olympians and Paralympians in person and in your social media to your audiences. They deserve all the attention they can get. And I know all 22 of them will appreciate your support in the efforts to illuminate their sport, their stories to all those who are not familiar. The staff and the whole team behind the team is fired up for the days and weeks to come. And of course, and as always, go USA.
Thank you, John. Personally, I've had the chance to race this year in a local race, and it felt so good to be back participating in the sport I love. Our sport is going to come back stronger than ever, and we hope you're all getting a chance to re-engage. It's so important now more than ever that we support our local multi-sport community. Find a club, connect with a coach, and more importantly, find a local race where you can volunteer or participate. This has been the hardest year in the history of sport, and all of the organizations that make up the multi-sport ecosystem have been struggling. Katie's going to tell us now how USA Triathlon is planning to financially recover from this pandemic, grow the organization, and be more financially resilient.
Thank you, Victoria. The primary focus of the finance team and throughout the entire organization during the pandemic has been working to ensure the financial resiliency of USA Triathlon. Here at USA Triathlon, we've been very successful at finding creative ways to grow and diversify our revenue while also ensuring our spending is minimal with a focus on our return to racing and the growth of the sport. We've also been fortunate to have been able to utilize funding from the CARES Act, which has helped us to be able to maintain our financial strength. I'm proud to say that these combined efforts have given us the ability to maintain our cash flows and our reserves. We are projecting growth for USA Triathlon in 2021 and believe that we have positioned to be able to be back on track for record growth in 2022. In addition to being financially resilient, we have also recently revamped our membership system to provide our members with a better user experience. One of USA Triathlon's top strategic priorities since Rocky Harris became CEO nearly 4 years ago has been investing in an improved technology experience for our members and constituents. And our new membership hub, which launched June 2nd, is the latest step forward in this commitment. You'll notice the enhanced functionality and ease of use immediately when you log in. This summer, we will also be launching a cleaner and more user-friendly race calendar that will include added features and details about races, and offer improved search functionality by date, distance, athlete type, race type, and more. I would like to take a moment to remind all of our members, whether you're a current or past annual member or a one-day license holder, to go to member.usatriathlon.org and activate your account if you haven't already. We ask that all members take this additional step for security purposes, as your user information is encrypted to keep it protected. So check your inboxes for an email from info@usatriathlon.org if you've not already registered. Now I'm going to turn it over to Tim to tell us about more exciting changes that we're making for membership support.
Thanks, Katie. That is a topic that is really near and dear to my heart. And we're doing a lot to make sure that for our members when they need us and maybe when they don't. Back in March, as many of you know, we brought in Liz Kolar to lead our constituent engagement and service team. She's done a remarkable job really taking a very, very hard part of the business and doing everything she can to create a white glove, best in class service support system for all those various constituencies that we represent, from members to coaches to race directors, officials, clubs, and even our Team SA program, which is a pretty big program. Still not there yet, but certainly making some incredible strides in this area. Some of the things that we are doing, responding to all phone messages within a given 12-hour period, We create a new system rotation, so our staff is working phones on different days, which is really important for us. We have our 24/7 membership hotline, which I know Liz is responding to personally every given day that she's in and out of the office. We have our HubSpot emails, which are a lot of the emails that you guys are sending back to us, 24 to 36 hour turn time on those. We're doing a really good work with our race directors on the sanction application process and helping to curb any issues that may arise with good solutions and positive support for those that are going through that process. We're doing really good work with recertification, our renewal process around our race directors and our clubs and our coaches and other groups. We're also speaking very clearly and as simply as we can on the insurance details, which can be very complicated, that Andy and his team are doing very well for us. We're also supporting our partners where partner support is needed from our sponsorships team and our team that really works with a lot of the vendors and groups that we have within our business structure as well. We're managing our membership packet inventory, really taking a look at the things that are really going to be important for our members to receive when they become a member of the organization. And then the last part is really our engagement strategies, where we're doing really good communications with the various groups I just mentioned, from having conversations about what their needs are, really where they want the organization to go, what they want to see as a top line, top shelf type of service and engagement support system. Most importantly, I think for some of you, when you look back at our benefit package, is we have, yes, a rankings program. And one of the calls a couple of weeks ago that people made to us was, when are you going to update your rankings platform? And so we've been really aggressively attacking the number of results that we need to bring into the organization so we can get the rankings up and operational. And that's happening right now. We're also going to be unveiling in a few months some really important additional membership types. Things are going to really impact our athletes, our race directors, our coaches, clubs, and every constituency that we actually have. I'm excited to see those things happen because they are going to really create, I think, a new direction for us with those that want to have a membership at the highest level. For our younger athletes that are looking for a little bit of a cost break, and even for the one-day member who's going to be able to experience something fairly new with this other portion of the membership unveiling that we're going to be doing. Nellie, tag team. This commitment to service and proactive communication with our membership has even extended to our election process, correct?
Definitely, Tim. So our goal is to have every member of USA Triathlon be vocal, engaged, and of course, vote in our USA Triathlon elections. This fall, we have 3 positions to fill on the board of directors. We have 1 general director and 2 athlete directors. All members who are 18 years or older, a US citizen, and a member in good standing are eligible to run for the general director position, while the athlete director positions must be filled by athletes who meet the elite 10-year athlete or elite 10+ year athlete criteria. Our call for nominations, it's on our website. It closes on August 13th, so you have until then to submit a nomination. We encourage you to nominate yourself or a fellow member to serve on our board of directors. Ballots will be made available to voters on September 15th, with the final day of voting on October 15th. So we have a month there of voting. Be on the lookout for increased information and communication over the coming months around this fall election. And remember, be vocal, engaged, and vote.
Thanks, Nellie. Our board of directors are so vital in pushing our organization and sport forward. And I echo Nellie in encouraging everyone to be an active member of this important process. Speaking of being active and engaged, Dave, please tell us about all the impactful things USA Triathlon Foundation has done in the past year and will be doing in the coming months.
Thanks, Vic. As you can tell, I'm coming to you remotely today from Park City, Utah, where we're currently hosting a fantasy camp for age group athletes to provide them with what a weekend in the life of training for an Olympian or Paralympian would look like. Our coaches here are the 2016 Olympian, Joe Malloy, 2004 Olympian and Ironman champion, Andy Potts, along with head coach of our men's development program, Parker Spencer. We're all really happy to be here and feel like we're getting back to normal. But man, what a year 2020 and the beginning of 2021 was. Certainly, the last 18 months are not what we envisioned back in December of 2019 when we put our plans in place for that year and the coming year. But it ended up being one of the most rewarding years of my professional career. When the pandemic hit, nobody knew what was in store for our industry. And shortly after April of 2019 hit, we received a significant amount of outreach from the endurance community where professionals, race directors, coaches, and clubs representatives shared with us how the crisis was significantly impacting their livelihood. As a result of that demand, the USA Triathlon Foundation pivoted from our standard operating procedures and mobilized our fundraising efforts to be able to give back and support the industry who were being impacted most by the pandemic. During the course of 2019, we established a COVID-19 relief fund to support race directors, coaches, and clubs, and raised over $200,000 in funding to support a grant program that went back to directly to support the endurance community to help continue to support the sport that we love. We're thankful for our foundation trustees and generous donors and members who supported the several fundraising initiatives throughout 2019 that helped keep our sport alive. Not only did the pandemic impact the endurance community, but as you know, the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics were postponed to 2021. In just 2 weeks, the Tokyo 2020 Olympics will kick off in 2021. With this, our athletes face numerous challenges of having to train and compete for an additional year. And as we move forward towards the next Olympic and Paralympic Games in Paris in 2024, our athletes will actually have one less year to train and compete. So our support of our athletes is now more critical than ever. We'll ask each one of you to consider supporting our Tokyo United campaign and get involved through our virtual Try to Tokyo and consider making a donation or other gift to support the foundation's pillar of igniting the dreams of our Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls. So keep an eye out in your inboxes and in your mail for exciting information on our Tokyo United campaign. The foundation also continues to provide grants for NCAA schools that add women's triathlon through the foundation's Women's Triathlon Emerging Sports Grant. To support the foundation's initiatives, go to usatriathlon.org and click on the donate button. If you happen to live in Colorado or be in Colorado on July 30th, the foundation will be hosting an Olympic mixed team relay watch party at the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Museum in Colorado Springs. And for all of those who've supported us over the last few years, we appreciate your support. Tim now has some exciting news as it relates to our push to reach 40 NCAA women's triathlon programs. Tim, over to you.
For those who have been following over the last 7+ years, all know that we have a really, really robust NCAA program that we're supporting for those at that collegiate varsity level. I'm proud to say that we reached our 37th program with the addition of Alvernia University in Pennsylvania this past month. And I'm especially proud that during the pandemic, we added 7 new institutions to our list of those supporting the sport. Second of all the sports within the NCAA family. The best part of all this is that as we seek 40, and I'll get into that just real quickly, why 40 is important, we have verbal commitments from 2 more that we're working through right now, some of the specific details, and a final institution that is already seeking athletic director and president approval as we speak. That gets us to 40 if we can close all those, which I feel confident that we will, which essentially means the NCAA will take national championship ownership and really manage the program alongside the other NCAA varsity programs that they have that are full-fledged NCAA varsity sports. This is really, really good for the sport because what it'll do is also wake up some of the Power 5 and other institutions that are out there that have maybe been waiting to add the sport, to say we are now really in a place where you can impact. And for those that look at Learfield Cup points and other things they do to drive really internally some of their goals that they need to meet. Having NCAA triathlon at 40 is a really positive thing for us. You know, it's important for us to institutionally recruit, yes, but it's equally important for us to support the programs, the many needs that they have, from retention to recruitment of individual student athletes. One of the things that we kind of built the last year and a half is a long list of systems that they can support that are really important for us to add on to what they are internally doing to recruit new student athletes. Everything from databases that we've created of state medalists at the high school level to our existing reach outs to people that are part of the NCAA programs currently. It really is a kind of a new thrust for us to not just provide opportunities for existing triathletes, but for single sport athletes as well. One of the things we've done is we partnered with the largest high school recruitment program in the country called NCSA. And if you are part of a single sport, you probably know who they are. What they've done, they've opened the door for us to be able to reach thousands and thousands of single sport athletes who could also look at maybe transitioning to triathlon as a collegiate sport, but maybe also having the ability to do a single sport and triathlon at the next level. The other program that I think is really important for us is our Talent Scout program, which is a program that allows members and coaches to identify talent around the US and to communicate back to us through a pretty complex form and system that we have. Simple to follow, but complex in that there's a lot of moving parts around it, to really identify new and different talent that exists out there. It may not be that person winning a state title in swimming, cross country, or track, but it might be that athlete that is 5th or 6th in the state meet and really is looking for that opportunity, may not be highly recruited as a single sport athlete, but looking for a chance to do something at the next level. We've also secured product and equipment discounts for all of our programs. We're going to continue to do this. Things that institutions need and that athletes need as part of their commitment to being part of a triathlon program. Another project of immense scope where we need everyone's buy-in and help is in our Together We Thrive initiative. Rocky, please remind us what Together We Thrive is and how we can all do our part.
One of our 4 guiding principles for our Elevate 2028 strategic plan is diversity, equity, inclusion, and access, as we aspire to ensure the sport reflects the demographics of America. We are focused on breaking down barriers and creating opportunities to engage individuals from underserved and underrepresented populations. DEIA has become a hot topic for good reason, but we were already committed to this important effort, and we were even recognized by the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee for the Diversity and Inclusion Award for 3 consecutive years. We spent time this past year listening to experts, our constituents, and anyone who has a passion for this topic. Alongside our DEIA Advisory Council, we developed the Together We Thrive initiative to combat discrimination, challenge inequalities, and champion social justice in the multi-sport community and throughout the endurance sports industry. One of the ways to get involved is to join us for our 2nd annual Together We Thrive Actions for Change DEIA Summit in early November. Like last year's inaugural event, this will continue to be free and virtual, so more people can attend without the need to travel. Registration is now open, and you can find the link on usatriathlon.org/thrive. Other ways you can help at the local level to further this cause is to adopt inclusive language and foster impactful conversations among your athletes and teams. Spotlight individuals and organizations doing great things in your community. Nominate individuals for our Pathways to Leadership Scholarship to increase access to certifications and conferences, and help us develop DEIA best practices to grow multisport through diverse populations and create inclusive training and racing environments. The multisport community is extremely welcoming and inclusive, but it is important that we all invite more people from underrepresented communities to join our sport and help put the support system around them to succeed. Our members have spoken loud and clear that they want us to work with clubs, coaches, race directors, and partners to educate them and give them the tools to learn and improve diversity, equity, inclusion, and access in endurance sports. We have such an amazing sport that will continue to get stronger and become more mainstream as we introduce it to new communities across our country.
For those who would like to learn more about our Together We Thrive initiative or get involved, we encourage you to email diversity@usatriathlon.org. On behalf of our leadership team and everyone at USA Triathlon, thank you all for your time and all you do for the sport.